What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some counterpunching to do concerning Tony Bellew. Tony Bellew says that Anthony Joshua, first of all, he needs to take the rematch. He needs to take the rematch because if he doesn't, he's going to lose his opportunity to fight for the belts and get the belts back. And if he doesn't get the belts back, it doesn't matter on how good he is or how much money or who his promoter is. They will freeze him out, plain and simple. Then Ruiz will go and then fight Deontay Wilder for that belt because they're both Al Haymon fighters. Since that's the case, um, Deontay Wilder, well, he's by Tony Bellew's opinion, says that Deontay Wilder knocks Andy Ruiz out, plain and simple. He says because of the styles make fights, and also Tony Bellew mentioned Usyk. Okay, matter of fact, I'm gonna hold down on Usyk because it might get a little long talking about him. But back to AJ. I think, first of all, let me counterpunch what he had to say. Deontay Wilder is not fighting Andy Ruiz next because he's already signed. Well, Tyson Fury has already signed the contract. Deontay Wilder signed it first. So they're in agreement of this contract, unless they want to breach the contract for some strange reason. Now that's not out of the ordinary, okay? Because I mean Tyson Fury never signed his portion when they were going to fight the first time this year, but that has happened. Erislandy Lara did that against Smith when he was fighting. What was his first name? Bald-headed guy. I forget his last name. His last name is Smith. He was a money team fighter, and he pulled out of that fight to fight Canelo Alvarez, and he had already at that time signed a contract to fight Smith. I forget his last name. Anyway, but eventually he did fight him after he fought Canelo because he couldn't miss out on that opportunity, you know. But that, of course, wasn't like a rematch clause. That was just a fight that he had already, or was planning to fight. That was his next opponent if he didn't get the Canelo fight. So, but I seriously doubt Deontay Wilder just stopping everything first, and getting that fight. But you don't know how things could have panned out. So he could be right about that because if you think about it, Deontay Wilder hadn't signed that contract yet. So if, let's say, Anthony Joshua didn't exercise the rematch clause, okay, who's to say Deontay Wilder wouldn't have took that opportunity where it was right there in his grasp? Why wouldn't he? The only reason I think he did that is because they knew Team Joshua had a rematch clause, and they exercised it. I think that's the only reason he decided to fight Fury. But if he already signed with Fury, then Fury just already signed. So we don't really know, But I think he was up to Deontay Wilder, though. He could have ditched that fight and fought Ruiz, sure. Now, what I will say about that, I think they would have froze him out because I do agree with Tony Bellew on that case, simply because that's what they did anyway. They did the same shit, by fighting each other. And it's almost like they wanted to fight each other just to avoid fighting him because they felt that, okay, he either didn't want to fight them, so they claimed, or he was begging to fight them, or they were lowballing them. They felt that Team Joshua was lowballing them. So, I mean, for whatever reason, I don't know which reason to pick, but that was the reason they were freezing him out. Regardless of why the reason it was, they were still doing the same thing. He's begging now. He's doing this now. Those are the words of Deontay Wilder. So, yeah, they were definitely freezing Joshua out. And without the belts, without that bargaining chip, I don't think that he would go far in that regards. They would freeze him out easily because he has nothing to bargain with, And it's like, I don't understand, and I never really understood why people would just turn down money like that. That's always been a head scratcher to me, but everyone's coming on the up and up. Everyone's catching up with each other. So I do agree with Tony Bellew on that. And the last thing that he mentioned regarding this situation, about Wilder and Ruiz. Wilder would knock out Ruiz. That's what he said, no doubt about it. I think Deontay Wilder, first of all, everyone knows that follows his channel, knows how I feel about Deontay Wilder's power, and people should respect that power. People should understand that that man, you can call him one trick pony or whatever you want to call him, he has the power to put your lights out. That one punch, it might be simple, it might be basic, it might be, primitive, but guess what? It's effective. And that's something you got to watch all night. And with Deontay Wilder, he could be getting beat. Okay? Deontay Wilder's objective is never to outbox you. I would be surprised if he did some Errol Spence, Mikey Garcia shit in a fight, but he doesn't. That's not him. Wilder he wants to knock you out. Okay? And I believe he would knock out Ruiz simply because of the style, not because I feel that he's better. I don't think Deontay Wilder's better than a lot of these fighters, but that won't stop you from skill-wise, but that does not stop him from knocking those fighters out. Why? Because he knows instinctively where and how to land, if he takes risk or not, because he knows as soon as I land that punch, this show's over. This fight's over, right? That's the reason I see him knocking out Andy Ruiz. And one thing about Deontay Wilder, the most important thing, he's not going to engage fighting Ruiz unless he gets you hurt. So he has to hit you with that right first. Then he's going to windmill you, berate you with those punches, with his flurry of punches and his unique way of throwing them. But he's not the dude that tries to, put together No, he'll paw with the jab, see where you're at, paw with the jab, straight jab through right, or jab, right. That's pretty much it. That's Wilder's plan. And he uses his height, which is a good thing against a shorter fighter, right? He ain't going to try to crouch down and do up. No. He's going to jab, and come and then see, people are going to respect that, right? And I know Ruiz will have it in the back of his mind, hey, I'm not going to get hit with that right hand. But if he has to take risk, he might end up trying to jump in and land right into a right hand. I just see that happening because he's going to have to get to Deontay Wilder, and Deontay Wilder is not going to be giving him any reason for him or give him any way or opening to get to him. He's going to have to make his own. He's going to have to stay long under the jab, and try to work the body. And Deontay Wilder is just going to lock him and wrap him up. So yeah, I think that fight happens. And if Deontay Wilder, according to Tony Bellew, if he gets the belts, it's over with. He has control over everything like he wanted with the one belt he had. He wanted the same type of power. Now he actually has that power. It ain't no fake it till you make it no more. He has it. So that's why he states that Anthony Joshua should take that match. And on to Anthony Joshua Ruiz rematch, according to Tony Bellew. He said that that Anthony Joshua can win, but it's going to be a dangerous fight for him. He said Andy Ruiz came in with extra weight. He said that he used all of his weight. He was calm when he came in, and he was good at counterpunching, and that was how he was effective against Anthony Joshua. So those are the words from Tony Bellew. I know Tony Bellew's friends of Anthony Joshua, so of course that he would be rooting for him, but he gave a pretty good assessment with Andy Ruiz. He thought he's a good fighter. He didn't think he was strong as he was, so he was surprised by that, but he thinks Anthony Joshua should fight him and he can win. So anyway, for me to counterpunch everything Tony Bellew had to say, I think Anthony Joshua can win, and I think it will be a tough fight. And I agree with everything that Tony Bellew said, except for Deontay dropping everything to fight Andy Ruiz, But then again, there is some truth to that too. You know what I'm saying? So we just talked about earlier. But good assessment by Tony Bellew. You guys tell me what you think about this video. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.